The process. This video will help us with the everyday process of working through our jobs. So we want to start with a schedule review. Your schedule. You want to check your schedule the evening before. By checking our schedule the evening before, we can plan our day. Some of you are early risers and you simply get up early enough to check your schedule and still allow for different possibilities. But you want to check your schedule to take note of where your day will start and what your best route is. If you have any questions about your schedule, always contact your immediate supervisor. So be on time. Being late is not a good way to start your day, and it always makes problems. Our first appointment is scheduled for 8 a.m. So that means you need to leave your house in time to be at your first pickup store by 7:30 in the morning. If the store is 10 minutes from your home, then you only need to leave with 10 minutes of time. But if the store is an hour from your home, you need to give yourself that extra drive time. Late starts will not be tolerated. Late starts always end poorly. People who feel like, because I'm not reporting to an office or a shop, no one's watching, I don't have to be on time, it will always catch up with you. Days will go wrong, and you will be late, and all of your customers will be calling, and they will be upset. So our store pickup. Arrive at the store to locate your product in time for you to load up and attain any necessary supplies and arrive to your first job on time. Always call ahead to let receiving know what you're picking up. No excuses. If they don't answer the phone, it doesn't matter. Make sure we're doing the right thing and calling ahead. Always be kind and courteous at the store. There's never an excuse to be rude to anyone. Never put old appliances or cardboard on the ground. Appliances go in the appliance trailer and moved as far to the front of the trailer as possible. Don't block the entrance. Don't put them on the ground. Everything else goes in the compactor. If you have an issue at the store, be courteous and contact your manager. Store pickup. Never wait at the store more than 30 minutes. If your appliances are not at the store, always call for a trip fee and always call the customer. Calling the customer is absolutely necessary. We cannot just assume that Lowe's or somebody else will call the customer. It's very easy to call the customer. If you arrive to the store and the store employees cannot seem to help you in a timely manner, ask for a manager and always alert your customer. Mr. Smith, I'm here at the store. They're having difficulty finding your appliances. If they locate it today, I will be able to make your install happen, but if not, I apologize. As soon as they get it figured out, I will be back to install your appliance. It's a common courtesy. Always notify the store. If for some reason the store is unable to locate them, which when Mr. Smith calls the store, they locate them pretty fast, but if they cannot, and your appliances are not there or are damaged, you simply need to call the office and say, hey, I've lost a couple jobs today. Please give me some to replace them. Contacting our customer. Communicating with customers is the key to having happy customers and good surveys. Always staying in contact with your customers, letting them know your approximate arrival time, calling ahead of time. If you think you're going to be late, update your customers. Customers really appreciate that. When they're sitting at home and they do not hear from you is when they get upset. So always call your customers also 30 minutes before arriving at the install. If there is any question about where your product is, if the store tells you they do not have the customer's product, if you're running behind, keep your customers informed. Never leave calling your customers up to someone else. If it's a Lowe's job, IST may even tell you, or the store may say, we will call the customer. Still, the customer needs to hear from you as the installer. It's the courtesy that you are expected to give to the customer. Mr. Customer, I was at the store today. I was able to pick up several appliances, but we were not able to locate yours. I'm sorry. But as soon as they figure it out, we will get you back on our schedule. It's that simple. If the customer is upset, simply kindly let them know that we did attempt to pick it up, and if they could take it up with the store as far as getting it straightened out, we will come right back out and install their appliance. Greeting customers. Customer greetings start with a friendly smile. Saying things like, "How are you doing today?" It shows a little bit of personal interest and makes the customer feel that you view them as a person, not just another stop on your route. Why is this important? Well, we are always going to do the best quality work that we can do. But making a personal connection with people might be the most important thing you can do. We have had customers call and say, "Well, I want someone to come check out my dishwasher install." I would say, "Well, is there anything wrong with it? Is it leaking?" They say, "No, I'm just not sure the guy did it right." So that's a sign that the customer, for one reason or another, didn't feel as though you as the installer were trustworthy. That's why it's very important to make a little personal connection with the customer. Let the customer know who you are. Well, don't walk in and just say, "Where's your dishwasher?" "I'm here. I'm with Heat and Construction. I'm here to do your Lowe's or your Home Depot install today." And then install out loud briefly. It only takes 30 to 45 seconds. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to inspect your job today. We're going to remove your appliance if we can. We're going to open up your new appliance, make sure it's the right one, make sure it's not dented. We're going to do your install. We're going to test it out. We're going to take some before and after pictures. We're going to make sure we cover your floors up. Put the customer's mind at ease. Describe the process to them. And let them know what you're going to do. And that way the customer, now you've made a little personal connection. You've described to them what you're going to do. This puts the customer's mind at ease and will often prevent them from hovering over you during the install. Before photos. 3 minimum photos are required for every job. Always take before photos. When you're taking a before photo, you need to include the old appliance and the surrounding area. This is very important. If there was a scratch on the floor, a nick on the cabinets, a crack in the tile above it, that before photo should represent that that was already there. I should be able to zoom in on that photo and say, "Oh no, Mr. Customer, this damage was already existing because we took a picture." And that is why, again, it's important to let customers know that you took pictures. That makes them less likely to try to claim pre-existing damage. Even if we are able to zoom in on this picture, you may notice on the left side the wood has a few little spots missing on it and a little bit of coloration change. That's why that before picture is just important. If you're installing an OTR, or the range microwave, or a range hood, always include the cooktop or the stove below in that picture. Make sure the pictures are good and clear. Don't turn in dark, fuzzy pictures. Doing a dishwasher, get the floor surrounding the dishwasher. Look around the home. If you see something that is outstanding, that looks wrong, there's lots of scratches on the floor, snap a few pictures to show the condition of what it looked like when you got there. Photos protect us. Let the customer know that you're taking photos. Say, "It's required that I take these photos today." Assess the installation. Again, we want to survey the condition of the install. We've went in, we've discussed it with the customer, we've taken our before pictures. Now we're going to go ahead and survey the condition of the install. Do not remove the existing appliance until the assessment is complete. Do not do it. Many installers fall into the trap of going into the house, they feel like they're in a hurry, or whatever reason, they just take out the appliance. Afterwards, they discover an issue with this install. We cannot leave an appliance not hooked up. If we remove an appliance prematurely, then we discover an issue that prevents us from installing a new appliance. We must reinstall the old appliance. There is no pay, no money for reinstalling an old appliance. It just means you're going to do some work that day that there will be no pay for. Thoroughly check out every install. Check under the sink for the conditioning of the plumbing. Do you see signs of existing leaks? If so, take photos. Call attention to the homeowner that they have existing leaks. Cover the floors. Properly cover the floors and take photos of the floors covered up. Take photos of the floor properly covered and load them into the app on every single job. Do not place tools on uncovered surfaces. Good cover up makes a good job. In this photo, Do you see the way the floors are covered up? We are not going to scratch those floors. If you scratch the floors, then we already know that you did not do a good job covering up the floors. When removing your dishwasher, be careful to lift it and put it onto the mats. Don't drag it across the floor and move your mat out of the way. Again, we scratch a floor. You may look at that and say, oh, that's small, could probably be fixed for $100. Nope, the homeowner is going to call the flooring guy, and the flooring guy, he doesn't want to do it for $100. He wants to make money, so he tells the homeowner, oh no, we have to redo all of your floors in the whole area. The homeowner quickly agrees because they see an opportunity to get brand new floors and get someone else to pay for it. Cover up your floors. Take care when removing appliances. Thoroughly check out your install. Again, we looked at the plumbing underneath. We want to look at underneath the sink. We want to look at what's underneath our dishwasher. Is there anything weird going on? Check out the electric. Does the flooring lock the dishwasher in? Is there additional work? Can we proceed? What are the extra charges? What discussion do we need to have with the homeowner? If we find additional work during the assessment, we are looking to see what additional fees apply. We only paid for a basic install, but once we get into the customer's home, if we assess additional work that we can do, then this costs additional money to the customer. So we want to discuss this additional work with the customer and get their approval. If it's determined the job can proceed, inspect the new appliance, make sure it's in good condition to install. After you have done a complete assessment, that's when we can proceed with removing the appliance. Again, maybe you've checked everything out on this job and you say, okay, there's no additional work. Everything looks good. I can proceed. And you take out the old dishwasher before you open up the new one. So you go ahead and you get out the old dishwasher, you open up the new box, and there it is. It's got a giant dent in it. The customer says, no, I don't want it. So now you've got to put the old dishwasher back in because you proceeded prematurely. Because we cannot leave an appliance unhooked. The importance of fees. Don't work for free. Don't reason, well, I have to call people, I have to explain it to the customers, it's not worth my time. It is worth your time. It adds up to thousands of dollars every month, and it's extra money that you can earn. Extra work due to circumstances at the home, it is the responsibility of the homeowner. It is not your responsibility. It is not Heat and Construction's responsibility. It is not the big box store's responsibility. Fees add up. They help you make money. The saying, no good deed goes unpunished, what does that mean? It means that the person you help and give some free work to, they will be the ones who call in a complaint on you. Many of our installers have learned this the hard way. They feel sorry for them. They tell them, oh, I'm on a fixed income. I can't afford that. And so we just go ahead and we give them some free work that day. And then as soon as we leave, they call the store and they complain that we kicked their dog, we broke their dishes, we scratched their floor, we're a terrible person. And when you were in the home, they just seemed like the nicest person and you just wanted to help them out. Keep everything on a professional level. If you go to the store and you buy a soda and then you say, I'd like to have a pack of gum, that pack of gum isn't free. You have to pay for everything that you want. Same with a customer. Keep it on a professional level. Mr. Customer, you have additional work. You have to pay for that. I can't do you favors. I'm sorry. It's not company policy. Also, never personally accept payment of any kind. Do not take cash. Do not take checks. Always run all money for additional work back through the proper channel. Anyone found accepting payment in cash for any form of additional work will be terminated. Trip fees. Trip fees are available if something that Lowe's or Home Depot did that caused us to miss out on completing a job or make an unnecessary trip. Trip fees are not issued for customer issues. If some issue at the customer's home prevented us from doing the job, that's the customer's issue. But if the store sold the wrong product, gave us the wrong product, then a trip fee can be attained. If we did not check the damage for the product at the store, we also cannot get a trip fee. If you do not get a trip fee that you think you should have, discuss it with your supervisor at the end of the day. And do not sweat it. Just look for ways to make it up. There are many opportunities every day to collect trip fees. Trip fees are usually $50, and they add up throughout the course of your month. Clean up. Every job. We've discussed the extra work. We've done the assessment. We've decided we can go forward with the job. We've covered our floors. We've had a successful install. Now it's time to clean it up. The homeowner comes out and says, oh, you don't have to do that. Yes, you do. Every job must be cleaned up before final photos are taken. There's no exceptions. Do not let a homeowner tell you that you do not have to clean up. They'll say, oh, I'll get it. You don't have to do that. Tell them it is a requirement. It is company policy. I have to clean up before I take my final photos. Do not borrow the customer's brooms, towels, or paper towels, etc. Keep them on your van. Home Depot and Lowe's sell them. Use the account. Purchase them. Put them in your van. Have them. Clean up before we take our final photos. Make the job look good. The after photos, again, is part of those 3 minimum photos. These should be taken while finishing the job in the presence of the customer. Make sure to include the same area as your before photos. Do not upload dark or fuzzy pictures. Always use photos smartly to your advantage. Photos can protect you. Make sure your before, your cover up, and after photos include that basic same area. So you're almost taking the same picture, but first it has the old appliance in it. Second, you've covered everything up so you can work safely. And third, you have a photo of the finished job with the area looking exactly as it did before you started, as if you were not there, except for the new appliance. That is the way to properly take photos. Photos are very important. Not only does it help us prove that we did the job, but it protects us from any false accusations or claims made by homeowners. Again, look at your pictures, and if they're not clear, take a new one. Photos protect you and the company. If walking into the home or during the course of an install, you remove a dishwasher and you see something unusual, something alarming, take a photo, make a note. Photos protect us from these false claims, and claims cost everyone money. Many people feel as though, oh, the big box store has so much money, I will get some of it, and they plan to do this. Now, when listening to this presentation, you would think that this is every customer, but the truth is it's not. But there are enough of them out there that it can feel like every customer sometimes, because oftentimes we allow our negative experiences to set the pace of how our day goes. But the majority of customers will be happy with us, they'll be happy with the install, and they will do the right thing. However, you will have these customers who will attempt to put claims out, never reasoning that you as the installer or us as the company will end up having to pay this money out and that it affects us personally. All they're interested in is themselves at that moment. It's unfortunate these people are out there, but if we take proper photos, we can protect ourselves from these people. And then we do not allow them to set the overall pace for how our job proceeds. So photos protect us. So now we've taken all of our photos, we've finished the job up, we're going to have a brief discussion with the customer. So this is part of finishing the job. Like I said, always check for leaks in the customer's presence. If the customer's watching TV, hey, Mr. Customer, we're wrapping things up. I want to show you a few things. Bring them into the area where they're installing the appliance. They see you clean up quickly. They see you check for leaks as one of the final parts. They see you take good photos. At that time, we want to discuss with them the survey. In today's business environment, surveys are especially important. Surveys grade our craftsmanship, our professionalism, and our LTR scores, likelihood to recommend. We need good scores on all of these. Good surveys mean continued growth and prosperity. Bad surveys mean our company will not survive. LTR is paramount to the well-being and growth of our company, this likelihood to recommend question. We need to ensure customers understand this on our surveys. Whenever they see how likely would you be to recommend this service, it can be confusing for the customer. They will often relate that question with their entire experience. And perhaps when they were in the store or the long wait for the appliance to be shipped may have left a bad taste in their mouth. We want to make sure that they understand on the surveys the portion about the install when they ask about how likely would they be to recommend this LTR score. This is about us as installers and even about you personally as their installer. So if we make sure the customer understands that, they will give us good scores. If not, it could be something bad that happened during the course of the install or of the entire experience that's not related to the install that could cause them to give us a bad score. So we want to make sure they understand the survey. These are very important. So the process is designed to follow. It's very important that we follow this process. The process is meant to help us have success. Following the process protects the company and you. Please show that you care enough about yourself and the company you are now a part of and follow the process.